Hi, good evening, everyone. Welcome back. Mindset Explosion, season 4. Unbelievable. Episode number 5. Been really looking forward to this one. Joined by Wayne Smith. And today we're going to talk about do what you love and love what you do. Wayne, I think I did meet you last year in Peterborough. I think we was at the same event. I meant to say we come on. Kind of met you.
Yes, we did. Now you've said. Yeah, now you've said that. Yeah, we did, didn't we? That's it. Didn't we sit next to each other? We did. That's right, mate.
Yeah, because we had to obviously spread out with social distancing. But
mentioned because we was talking about the martial arts and that, weren't we? Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, cool. So, you're great to have you on. Thanks for coming on the show this evening.
No, thanks for having me.
And I guess, I'm a pleasure, buddy. And it just, I guess we kind of have had we've taken what we love doing into our. Well, I can't call it a career. Can you call this a career?
No, I don't. People say to me, "What do you do for work?" And I say, "Well, I don't go to work. I get up and I just do what I love. Like every day. That's what I've done. It just goes from there, doesn't it? It's hard to call it a job, I think.
I think so, but the best advice I had is make your hobby your best job you can have is a hobby. But yeah, it's not really. Sorry, those that have jobs.
No, it don't work. No, that's right. That's what they say. Find a job that you love. You never work a day in your life, isn't it? It's true, isn't it?
So how you run? It's Olympia. Is it? I had it in my head.
Olympia boxing and sport on your doorstep.
So how long's that been going?
Yeah.
Wayne?
So there's Olympia boxing's been going since 2013. There was a group of us that started it. There was 4 of us. So there was a good friend of mine, fellow coach Leo, and he's at Westbury Boxing Club in Maidstone. So he's an active boxing coach, and there was me and him as the coaches, and then there was 4 of us on the board, and one was Louisa Arnold from Kent Sport, the County Sports Partnership, and James Cullen, good friend of mine. He was at the time was the Kent Boxing Development Officer. And it started as Olympia Boxing started as Kent Educational Boxing, it was called, and it was just a bank account with some funding in. And James, as a development officer, kept getting opportunities for community work. So I'm not based in boxing clubs. So then you could go on. You were bridging the gap between the boxing clubs and the community, and you engaged all the young people and gave them a taster of boxing, and if they enjoyed it, you then post them on to their nearest affiliated clubs. And Lee started first, and then James came to me and said, "Would you be interested?" I said, "Yeah, of course, yeah, I'll start a couple of bits up." And I started, I think, 1 or 2 sessions up in the evening, and this was also like whilst coaching at the boxing club as boxers, and then it kind of just became like it just snowballed. Like I sat there, I thought, well, there's no one doing this in schools, especially in the southeast. There's no one at all. I thought, like, we've got something to do here. Let's try and push it a little bit, and started growing it, and then like 4 years later, me and Lee literally running around like headless chickens, like coaching it. God knows how many hours in schools and community programs come up, and we all 4 of us sat down, and it got to a stage. Like we were literally, it was just a bank account. We hadn't set up, like, formalised a company or anything. It was just a non-for-profit organisation. And we sat down and we said, listen, like, we've kind of created a monster here. This is like really took off. We've got to take the next steps, like to formulate a decent organisation. And the other 3 of them, they said, like, Lee decided he wanted to do something. He wanted to go on his own path with another business that he'd set up. And James and Louisa couldn't give any more time to the organisation than they already did, because they had full-time roles elsewhere. And everyone decided, right, we've had a good run. Let's shake hands and we'll move on. But by this time, I'd built up quite a few schools. Like I had a good like client base and of schools. was kind of like tapping in everywhere, like disability sessions, the lot. And that's my dream job. Like, it was an absolute dream job. Like, like we were just saying this a minute ago. And I never thought I was getting up to go to work. I was just getting up, going coaching. It was great fun. So I decided, no, I'm not going to let this go. I'm not prepared to walk away. And I asked them, I said, listen, do you mind if I carry the name over and I'll set it up as a CIC? And they said, no, of course not. Like, best of luck to you. Go with it, run with it. And as they say, the rest is history. Like, we're just finished our third year as a CIC, and we've become the UK's leading provider in boxing fitness. And I don't say that with an of course, there's always a nice little bit of ego with it because it's done well. But I don't say that as, oh, I'm number one. It's a true fact. Like when we look, I often look and keep an eye, as you do, on. I've got no competitors as such as in what we do, like for boxing, but like there is a few organisations up and down the country that do what we do, boxing in schools and in the community. Now, when I last looked, there was one company. And they were doing, their number of sessions was 14 per week. So they were delivering 14 programs per week. Well, pre-pandemic, we were doing 64 programs a week. So that's why I say we're UK's number one. Like, it's because of what we're doing. Like, even now through the lockdown, we're doing 30 programs a week at the moment through lockdown. So and it's all online. I think we've got two or three face-to-face, I think, in disability schools, and that's it.
Well, I think that's fantastic.
Yes, it just snowballed. But what it was just it's like what we're talking about. The whole name of your podcast was the mindset. It was just keep going, like keep breaking down all barriers, like, and like people like I've got lots and lots of partners now that I work with. Within the community, like community organisations, funders, like mental health charities, all sorts that we partner with on big projects. And people used to say to me, like how do you manage all of this? Well, one reason is I've got a really good team now. I built a really good team, like got good coaches. And but at one stage it was me running around, like it was like, and then I realised that like I was hours a day coaching in schools. Then I was doing a community session. Then I was doing my boxers as well. And that was before, like I was doing like 10, 12-hour days of coaching non-stop. My body was falling to bits. And then I thought, and then you're not gonna, you can't get a ceiling. You've got your ceiling. You can't go any further. And working in the business and on the business, you can't do both. So I decided, right, I needed to bring in some other coaches and then start developing it. And that's what it's done now. And we range from, like, we do 5-year-olds are the earliest, the youngest we've got. And I think even now doing the lockdown session, because we do disability sessions, we specialise. We've got really successful boxing for Parkinson's program, and we've got boxing for dementia program as well running that we run with the charities, and 2 88-year-olds that turn up to one of our online sessions this week. Husband they're two lovely couple there, but so we run from 5-year-old right up to 88 years old. Anyone can do it, you know. So that's the thing, as you know, like in martial arts, it doesn't matter if you're doing it for fitness and fun. You don't have to be the strongest, you don't have to be the fastest. It doesn't matter. Anyone can engage and have fun with it, can't they?
Oh yeah, totally agree. And I think it's wonderful that, you know, I love the fact you're working with disabilities, because it's given them something that maybe they thought that they couldn't do, and getting there and doing it. And you know, same when we've seen that, and you see such a wonderful transformation. Like, it helps our mindset, but it becomes like a two-way thing, doesn't it? Because
Yeah,
You
oh
know,
God, yeah. Like the Boxing for Parkinson's program. When it was now it's online. One of my coaches delivers it just so I could keep them earning money. Obviously, keep the team work like during this time. But when it was face to face at the club, because we run it out of the boxing club that I coach at, St Mary's in Chatham, the I delivered that program myself. That was the only coaching session that I generally really do now, like because I'm steering the ship in the office. Um,
yeah,
but I did that session because I thoroughly enjoyed it. It was my favourite session of the week. It's not. There's no pressure. There's no pressure on competition. There's no you don't. No one's there. They're all there because they want to be there, and it's
mm,
just bloody good fun. It is really rewarding as a coach because you see the difference that your sport can make to people that are living with disabilities and stuff. Like in the in the Parkinson's program, we had a guy, 84 years old he was, and he when he first walked in, he literally part of his symptoms with Parkinson's, he it was his mobility, and he literally his walking was like a snail pace, and it was like a step. Like he really was like he's so slow to get in and everything. Well, within 6 weeks I had him actually running up and down the gym within 6 weeks' time. Just
wow,
just just through
yeah,
just pushing like just little steps and and it like just you would not like the transformation. Even like one of his drivers came in because they had different drivers bring him in, and like there'd be different ones each week. And one turn I went, oh my God, what's happened to him? How have you done that? I just I think most of it is, of course, it's the physical activity and the combinations and the um, through their coordination, the word I was looking for. But what the feedback I've had back was that a lot of them, like they say, you've given us belief that it's not over, that we're
yeah,
not done, like that we've been diagnosed with this thing. Some people sit in their chair and think that's it, like I'm succumbed to this. But they said to me, they said, you've really given us the belief that the coffin's not shut on us yet. You know, we're still here. We can still fight this. And they say to me, the boxing regulates them. Like just intense exercise regulates like people that are living with Parkinson's and dementia and Alzheimer's and stuff like that. The coordination, the motor skills, and everything like that. It completely regulates them, and they notice it when they miss a week as well. They say to you, yeah, missed a week last week. My tremors were really worse and everything. Like so, it's rewarding. It's a rewarding program, really is.
that's a massive thing. That is a massive.
Mm,
I think Julie, I don't know if you're still watching. She's put a heart up, but she's probably a good person to talk to. She does a lot of work with disability and a lot of charity work. So good
fantastic.
interviews
Yeah,
on
please.
your
Yeah,
podcast
so
there.
yeah, brilliant. Yeah, more the merrier. I'm happy to talk to everyone. I can
Yeah,
talk for England. Yeah, no, if anyone out there listening wants to have a chat offline, please just message
yeah, definitely,
me. I'm
definitely.
easy to get hold of, and we'll see what we can set up and do. We've got lots going on online at the moment. That's we all our programs are generally targeted like to specific areas, but because they're all virtual now, anyone can access them. So I think we've got some people that are accessing our programs in Norwich at the moment. He just got through a housing association, got passed on and on and on, and I had an email. I think it was Friday saying, is this program like targeted to a specific area, or anyone access it? I said, well, anyone can access it. It's online at the moment.
That was the best thing about online. My mum's just
Right.
put a comment. Like someone else, I got a friend, a buddy of mine. He's just started something similar with. So it's great because you can all collaborate. But online's amazing at the moment because that lockdown came, the first lockdown. We had there was someone from Holland, someone from America. Wow,
Yeah,
all in,
mental, isn't it? Mental, absolutely mental, isn't it? Like, but how it's opened up the world. Like we've found, like something that's really true and amazing. We started like as soon as the first lockdown came, it was one of them moments, like what we talk about, like when we're up at Peterborough and everything. well, I was sat there. I remember sitting in my office, and I had one of my coaches and my business partner in Sport on Your Doorstep, the other business that I run. And we were sat there, and we had Boris on my phone on the tripod watching, just as he was telling us the school was closures and everything like that. But like just before that, the day before, like when you knew it was coming, we were delivering. I think our number was we had 64 programs we were running. That was schools and community. But our school programs, there was 39 schools we were delivering in per week before that first lockdown. And the day before Boris closed all the schools, obviously everyone was getting wind of it and everyone stopped externals. I lost 31 schools in 24-hour period.
Yeah.
Literally my ping, and I think they're going, oh my God, I'm just watching my business go down the pan. Like, I'm sitting there thinking, what on earth are we going to do? And me, Mark and Tommy were sat in the office, and like we'd had a day of it, like just trying to brainstorm, how are we going to do this? And we were sat there and we watched Boris, like, and when he said the words, we just all just looked at ourselves and just, because it was the unknown, wasn't it? You didn't know what we were going into. And I just sat there. I thought, bloody business is just completely closed. Like what we're going to do? And the lads said to me, they said, what are we going to do? And I said, well, first things first, we're going to go to the pub and have a pint. so we packed down. We packed down. I just thought, what are we going to do? I thought, right, well, we need something. We need to think about this. So I thought, well, there's one good way that men think about things, and that's over a pint. So we packed down and went down to the bar, brought them some dinner, and literally sat. And that's when we just came up with it. We said, we've got to be fast, and we've got to go online. And we adapted straight there and then. Like, and I look back now, me and Tommy were talking about it only last week, and it was talking about our first sessions, like that we did, like talking to the camera. It was a stuttering mess, like just couldn't get it, because it's so hard, because you're thinking you're needing that interaction, then you had to get used to it. But we were lucky in that space. Like we got through that very fast. But we were lucky that we adapted, because there's still clubs and still providers out there that just didn't want to do that, and they've not done anything. They're completely closed. Like, because it was just like, what have we got to do? Like what we talk about up at Peterborough with Rob Moore and stuff like this. You've got to look for the positive in everything, haven't you? You've got to find the positive in every situation to get out of it. It was right. Come on, this is what we've got to do. We've lost half the business. We've lost the whole business, really. Like nothing's going on. So we've got to rebuild this. So we started rebuilding it. We didn't have much on, but we managed to float. You know, we managed to float through.
Yeah.
And we were safe. And then, but come this lockdown, because of our experience in it and the way that we'd set up all of our live programs and everything, we were fully set up and programs every week, because obviously everyone now has gone from going into the unknown, thinking what's going to happen here, that everything's closing down, systems and everything like that. So we're now delivering. I think I've got 20 schools that we're delivering programs into every week at the moment. Most of them are pre-recorded. Like, we're doing pre-recorded sessions. We send them out on a Monday. Because they can then use the session multiple times during the week, and because you've got, obviously the kids are at home, but the schools have still got the vulnerable kids and key workers children's in, and the teachers are under so much pressure now with their delivery plan and delivery, and having to do everything online, that like PE's getting overlooked. PE's not really getting used, so we're lucky that we're being able to provide this for school. So we're getting some good stuff. Like, we've actually, on our reports, because we got secondary school funding through Kent Sport, satellite club funding, what we do for secondary schools, and some of our reports are coming back that we're getting like 350 to 500 students accessing a session a week.
Wow.
So, which is ginormous numbers. And if you think the off of that. Like if we normal face-to-face session, that you just go, right, you set it up in a school, all right, it's on a Monday after school, something like that. You would get your general 16 or 10 to 16 kids that are interested in boxing that have done it or know about it. But these 300 and 500 students aren't all of them, they're everyone. And now what's happening is they're accessing them sessions because they're in their comfort of their own home. It's not intimidating for them to come into the session. They're now engaging in this session. Like I had feedback I was on a young person's partnership meeting with the youth workers and the police on Thursday, and they had a panel of young, and they actually accessed some of our youth club sessions online, and the feedback was unreal. Which is really powerful because it had actually the young people that were giving us the feedback, and the best part was that like 3 of them were girls that said, like some of the youth workers asked them, said, would you have ever had a go at boxing? If I said, oh, boxing's in the room next door, they said, no, not a chance, absolutely not a bit of me at all. But since I've started this, they can't wait till it's face to face because they want to have a go. So that's what I'm hoping now when we get back face to face in the schools, that the club should be getting really great numbers, because you've got all the students that wouldn't have necessarily engaged previously, but now they've had a taster of it, so now they're engaged.
Oh, that's wonderful. It must be doing wonders for their mental health as well. As, you know, sometimes, you know, we hear it get said, but obviously us being in there, we know how, you know, how powerful that kind of type of training is, just and for the sheer discipline that comes with it. So
no, that's right. I don't know how like what came from your background, but it was like boxing changed my life. Like I was going down a bad path and stuff when I was a lot younger, and it was boxing. It was my 2 coaches, Paul Lynch and Dave Cotton, that turned my life around. You know, like they got hold of me and used boxing as the tool, which was what turned my life around and put me on the path that I'm on today. But it weren't for that, then God knows where I'd have been.
So would you mind talking about that a little bit more? So where were you then? And how did that?
Just mixed up in lots of drink, drugs, stuff like that. You know, fighting on the streets and stuff like that. Like a lot of that. Nearly got in trouble quite a few times. I was quite lucky to get away with not actually getting completely done by the police a few times, like for fighting and for drugs, and stuff like that. And I was going down a right bad path. Like it's just partying, that kind of age group, but just went down a real bad way. And then found the sport of boxing and just kept going. And like Paul just kept me in the gym, Dave kept me in the gym, and like obviously when like I was saying before we come on air, I only had 4 bouts, and then I fell through a scaffold. I started going back to the pub and started like with that life again, just in the pub every day and stuff like that. And it could have been seen at going back to where I was. And Paul and Dave come and got me, and they said, no, that's not happening. You're going to come. You've got so much to offer for this sport, like, and to other people. Like, you're going to come. You're going to start coaching. And they dragged me back into the club and got me coaching. And I always remember Dave Cotton. He's dead now, my old coach, bless him. He was a great man, he was. And I always remember we were standing outside Seven Oaks Leisure Centre. There was a show. We had our home show, and I wasn't boxing. And I remember him. I'll always remember his words. He said, "You'll make a good coach. You will. You could make a career out of it." And I go, bloody hell, you got that right, mate, didn't you? Right? So like, I hope he's proud. I always say that. I know Paul's proud. He always tells me that he's proud. But I hope Dave looks down.
So do you feel like
yes,
what you lives on a lot? Do you find yourself doing similar things for children?
Yeah, of course. Yeah, well, I can use my experiences and stuff that I went through, like when I was younger. don't get me wrong, I wasn't like a real bad, like there's many
Yeah, I know.
people that came in a worse background and stuff like that than I was, but I was in a bad path. I was on a bad path. I was hanging around with the complete wrong people. And which is funny because when you look at these same people that are still like you still stay connected. You see them; they're still doing the same thing that we were doing 15, 20 years ago. So they've never moved on in life and in and out of prison and still involved in drugs and partying, thinking that that's the way of their life. But that's up to them, isn't it? That's the way they've decided to leave. So, but that's how I try and help and mentor other young people. You can see the sign when you've been there yourself. You see the signs of which way it's going and how they're going, and how they're going to end up. So you just try and guide them, and you go out of your way as a coach, especially as a sports coach. You all know the same as in the martial arts. We're kind of a different breed because where it's like where they say like football and rugby, like your coaches, you'll see them once, maybe twice a week, like once for training, once for a match. Boxing, it's bloody every day. It's the moment you open up, same as martial arts, isn't it? You like when you're training someone, it's a life. It's not just like just turning up twice a week and having a game. It's a lifestyle. So this is where you get to see and work with it. And then just use the sport. Like one of my lads that works for me, Tommy, he wasn't a tearaway. He was just a little shit. I'd call him, is what I'd call him. He's now a great lad. Like he delivers all our program. He delivers every single program we've got now. He never even boxed. He didn't even box, but he started through my community sessions, and it's quite funny because I often use him he's a product of Olympia boxing, like with the youth work and everything like that. And I've known him since he was born because I'm friends with his dad. But he used to come out. I actually threw him out of a community session. I banned him when he was younger. Tried so many different things with him, like to try and straighten him out, and he just kept coming back, gobby, 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 like this. And I can't remember exactly what it was when I banned him, but I banned him, and then I think it was about a month or 2 months later, he actually gave me a message. I'm so sorry for the way I've been acting. I'd like to come back. I said, yeah, all right, no problem. Come back then. And started come back. Next minute it was, can I do my work experience with you? Yeah, of course you can. So he'd come doing his work experience. Then he went to college and he was doing like sports and fitness, stuff like that. Oh, I need more work experience. Can I do it with you? Yeah, of course you can. So he started coming like this, and then you just saw I could see how it was like he was going from being a kid that was hanging about in the streets all the time with his bottle of White Lightning and all the rest of it, to focusing on how, and you could see it coming out of him. He was coming out in the coaching and all passing it on. Then he went on to doing all his coaching badges, and now he works for me full time. Like he's a great lad. So it just shows product of how it works, and that's what I was in the same position, and I got turned around, so I turned him around, There's many more. There's many more of them. Like every boxing coach out there, they do the same.
No, it's fantastic. And the great thing is that's just going to continue on. So the legacy of your coaches and their coaches onto that they put to you.
Yeah,
that you're putting,
because they're doing it now. Yeah,
exactly. So
it's like a conveyor belt, isn't it? It just goes on and on and on, and the more that we can do it, the better. Because it's the more people that we get to reach, isn't it? We do a lot of work with the police now. We do a lot of work with the police and the youth services and youth where we're actually doing mentoring of like certain. We have a group of young people, and in some cases we actually do mentoring where it's just an individual basis to work with a young person that's either involved with the police and offending or just been released from prison and stuff like that to help turn their lives around, which has been very successful as well. Like you get to teach them life skills, using the boxing and everything as the discipline. Like some people think it's just discipline of getting fit and stuff like that, but it's not. It's so much more than that. Like the discipline of it. Like some of these kids, they turn up and they'll turn up for the last 5 minutes of the session because they've only just got out of bed. You know, so what your first target is to get them to turn up 10 minutes before the end of the session, then 15 minutes before the end of the session. And then eventually it's turning up 15 minutes before the session starts. So they're getting themselves prepared for hands and everything like that. And then you think, right, now we're getting somewhere. Now you're learning the self-discipline. And then after that, you're then getting them ready to go for interviews for jobs and stuff like that. It's just never ending, and it just shows the pattern. People go, "Oh, boxing is such an horrible sport. It's so barbaric." But look what it does for people. You know, it's unbelievable. All martial arts, not just boxing. All martial arts does
I
that,
agree.
doesn't it?
Yeah, I think what we're doing is sometimes, very often, very much misunderstood.
Yeah, I only had it. I think it was last. Sorry, I missed that.
Sorry, Wayne. I was just going to say you've done so well to get into A school. Never mind, the amount of schools you're in. It's not easy. I know.
No, it's not. It's not, is it, mate? It's not. I have conversations daily where it's you're teaching them to fight. No, I'm not. I'm teaching them completely the opposite. I had it this week actually. I had an email come through from a school. The school had just uploaded they just started their
Oh, sorry, you cut there, Wayne. You still there?
week.
Wayne, your signal's gone. You still there? Sorry, guys. Hold with us. Just a bit of a. I think the Wi-Fi is messing about in the UK at the moment.
I can see you. Can you see me?
I can see you. Yeah, it just froze up. But it was just the sounds went. Yeah. Sounds went a bit patchy. Sorry.
Can you hear me?
As far as you had an email. You there?
And I'm there. Can you hear me?
Yeah. Sorry.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, it kept chopping. It's like a proper.
Keeps dropping out.
Can you hear me?
Yeah. So I had the email from the school, and they actually forwarded the email from the parent as well. And they said, "How can I respond to this?" And it was, "Why are you?"
I can't believe it's gone again. And Spencer's killing it.
This is often caused by an unstable internet connection. Are we back?
Yeah.
Are we back?
Years a parent was at.
Yeah, we are back.
I guess. Yeah.
Yeah. Saying about being a barbaric sport and teaching our students to hit each other when you've got a no touch policy in the school. I said, how do you answer this? And I said, well, there's one way I could answer it, but it wouldn't be professional. But I said, I can assure you all that is, it's a parent that doesn't like boxing. I said, that's all it is. I said, explain all the benefits of this sport, especially as the virtual session at the moment. There's not many sports that people can do virtually. You can't play football over virtually or rugby or anything like that. No, you can't do anything like that. Yeah, a lot of sports have been ruined by this. But whereas like martial arts and boxing, fitness, you can still do. And also the main benefit of it is that it doesn't require, because that was one of the things that school said to me. They said, because obviously they've got their 2 meter rules in the school. They said, oh, like if we can stream the sessions into the classroom, would the students be able to do the session standing behind their chairs at their desk? And I said, yeah, of course they could. Like that. I said, we just adapt the session to make it do that. Like, and I think that's one of the things why we've been quite successful, and that's because we just keep adapting. We break down every barrier. Like if someone says, we're going to have a problem of doing it like this because of this reason, then we break that reason. Like we say, Well, it doesn't matter. Let's change it. I get that often sometimes, like with schools. They say, "Oh, we'd love to have you in," but the time that we'd have you in, like for a lunchtime club, that the hall's being used for lunch. All the other kids are out on the playground. We haven't got no extra halls.
Oh. Oh, sorry, everyone. We've got a lot of bad weather, obviously, in the UK at the moment, so it might be affecting signal. Sorry, Wayne, you gone patchy up again. Need to go and wind up the Wi-Fi. I'm not sure if Wayne's still there, but great chat, and I think there's some great takeaways from that. You back, Wayne? I was just going to give some takeaway points from our chat, and I just thinking back to when you said beginning of the first lockdown, actually. So when you kind of are what we're going to do, and I think great from a mindset point of view. I know you said we went down a pub and had a pint, but I think it kind of brought
You still there?
Yeah, I'm still here, buddy. I'm just doing a bit of a recap. So I love the fact you kind of took that. I was just talking about when you said the first lockdown came, and I guess that training that you do must, even though we all get nervous, we all get those panic moments, and there's like I guess that training you had through boxing and has kind of learned you to calm your mind, for you to be able to say, right, let's go and have a drink. Had that leadership mindset to say, right, let's settle down and finding that clear space to be able to then, look forward. Which obviously is what got you through, the last year. And it just sounds absolutely amazing. Yeah, my mum's commented, she's my number one fan. Great interview. Thank you, mother. And I think the way you've pivoted, it's just inspiring. I think
My
still yeah, it's still bumming out. Don't worry, buddy. So key points there really is, look, when panic hits, just take a step back, have just calm the mind down, and then you'll find that solution. And like Wayne has said in there a couple of times, like it's easy to create barriers. It's easy for people to find barriers, but just keep looking for, break those barriers down. If we stay focused on the barriers, then we're gonna, really fall into a lot of deep water. You back, Wayne?
Yeah, I'm here, mate. Yeah, I'm here. I just tried moving around by the router just in case it was my end.
You had to put your hand up in the air, get the tinfoil hat, and then 1 foot.
Yeah. hang out the window with the laptop and see if I can get the telecom.
Yeah, I think it's the bad way,
isn't it?
Yeah, don't worry.
Yeah.
Probably got to finish up because I think me and you would end up chat. We should have gone on a Clubhouse really and chat away.
Yeah.
Everyone there, isn't it?
Maybe we should do that, mate. I've got myself on Clubhouse, but I haven't actually, I haven't explored it fully yet because I've had so much other things to do that it felt like another thing. How have you got onto that? Have you enjoyed it?
Yeah, I'm probably a bit the same as you. I when everyone was going on about it, and I felt like I was 17 again, trying to get in the nightclub. Names not down. Watching all the VIPs go through. Hi, Matt. Yeah, all right. Wait for me, won't you? Wait for me. Will you let me in? It was like that for about 2 weeks. And finally I got in there. And I mean, people hype it probably more than, but I was listening to Rob. Rob was doing a room yesterday. That was really interesting. It was about what they talked about there. So kind of gone a bit in and out, but I've not created a room yet. I was going to do one with Ben Taggart. It's in our group, but got to we just didn't get around to arranging it properly. So yeah, we'll have to arrange one. Definitely, this could be.
I'll be game if you want to do one, mate. Yeah, definitely. I'd definitely be game. I want to get stuck into it a little bit more, just to, like I say, it's early doors, isn't it? If you utilise it nice and early, then then you'll get the benefits of it. But it's just one of them things, and it's another job. It's another job that you got to do, isn't it? It's you just think, bloody hell, I'm trying to read, I'm trying to research, I'm trying to run 3 businesses, and now they want me on another social media channel, and I'm trying to run 4 platforms as it is.
I think it could be a good one, but maybe we'll arrange something.
Yeah.
Anyway, I'm just going to say goodbye to everyone. Probably a few people, what are they on about now? Clubhouse? Everyone's heard of it. So. Thank you, everyone, for watching. I'm definitely going to get Wayne back on because we had so much to talk about. Thank you, guys.
Yeah, plenty more.
Be careful in that snow, and I'll see you next Sunday. Same bat time, same bat channel. Peace, love. Bye-bye.